Okay, everybody, welcome, everybody. I will give it quite some time here, a couple of minutes. Excuse me, I have a bit of a running nose today. It's running away. No, it's all right. This is going to be a different live chat than I normally do. A matter of fact, let me wait till people join. If you guys don't mind, the people in here, go ahead and share this out on whatever platform you use. That would be great. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let me go ahead and share this. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to share this out. All right, guys. 1 moment. Let me try again to share this. I don't know if it worked. And why is this thing up here? If anybody does not mind, for some reason I'm having some trouble sharing this. If somebody can do me a favor and share this on Twitter for me, or whatever other platform you use to talk baseball, that would be wonderful. I don't know why this is not allowing me to share, or I just can't see it, which is kind of strange. But I'll give it a few minutes because this is going to be a chat I think a lot of people want to see. This is going to be an interesting chat. For the regulars on here, it's going to be quite a bit. Hey, my friend, thank you so much. This rainout may save the series for the Yankees. Yeah, I will get to that towards, it's about third or fourth down from the things I'm going to discuss today. So, guys, if somebody can, please go ahead and let me know if you were able to share this. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. For some reason, I can't. It's not allowing me to share it. I don't know why. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, let me try this again. 1 second, okay? All right, there we go. So I was able to share it. We are going to give everybody a little more time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, I'm going to give it a few more minutes, guys, and I'm going to jump right into this. So let me just give it a few more minutes and allow some more people to go ahead and join. I promise you guys I will be answering your questions, as I know you guys will have a lot, but I also have a lot that I want to talk about. And I am actually just going to go ahead and jump right in because I know a lot of people maybe are coming home from work right now, maybe having dinner with their family. So I don't want to take that time away, as I know some people will get to watch this. First, I want to start off and say congratulations to the Washington Nationals on winning the pennant for the National League. That is absolutely awesome. I am a fan of the Nationals, especially in the National League, because I got a lot of friends here in Richmond, Virginia, who are really, really big Nationals fans. So I'm happy that they were able to do that, and they are celebrating, and I hope to join them soon. So let me jump right into the first discussion I want to talk about. There's going to be multiple ones. I am not going to answer questions until the end. So let me run down the topics I want to discuss. It might answer a lot of your questions. First and foremost, Gary Sanchez and Didi Gregorius. Okay, here's the thing with Gary Sanchez. And I want fans to understand this because, again, some people out there, not a lot of you, really nobody anymore, have questioned my credibility in the past, right? Gary Sanchez, if you guys remember, this was, I believe, what was it? Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. It was last year. When I put the information out there that I was told, this is around June, that a lot of the Yankee people I talked to gave me some really deep inside information that nobody was talking about. No mainstream reporter, nobody. That David Robertson didn't like throwing to Gary Sanchez because he was worried about his defense. That was one. I reported that information. Then I reported that the Yankees were very upset with Sanchez because he came into camp overweight and his conditioning was a major issue. Now, when I brought this up to everybody, and I'm going over the whole story here, this will lead into what's happening now. A lot of people insulted me. A lot of people called me names. A lot of people called me an idiot. They said I was a fraud. All these type of things about Gary Sanchez that I reported. Then you have former Yankee coaches, Alex Rodriguez himself, and a few other guys start saying the same thing, that conditioning has been an issue and the Yankees are concerned. Even Aaron Boone himself, when Gary Sanchez, one of the disabled lists, said he hopes he even focuses on his conditioning. So there's been that up and down for the Yankees with Gary Sanchez. Now, the reason I bring that up then is because they're still concerned now. To the point that I know for a fact, a lot of New York media have held a lot back when it comes to Gary Sanchez at the word of the New York Yankees. Now, I will also bring this up when I talk about Garrett Cole. The Yankees have done a masterful job of ensuring that their agenda is pushed forward through the media. We see this all the time. We see this a lot. And this is something we are going to be seeing more of. That's my prediction. We're going to see more of this going forward. But you got a few reporters out there who are starting to let loose already. One being Joel Sherman. Joel Sherman has already dug in on Gary Sanchez to the point of saying he needs to be benched. Not only not playing or pinch hitting or taking a day off, he needs to be benched. To the point of saying Gary needs to be benched or he needs to get it going now. There is no patience in the postseason. And I agree with that, but I'm also understanding to the point that Sanchez needs to get a chance to win. If the Yankees are going to win, they need Gary Sanchez. They need Gary Sanchez to hit. Or, Yankee fans again are going to get upset when I say this, they need to make their mind up with who he is. And do they want to keep this going? Now, people will sit there and go, but Pete, come on, man. The guy hit 30-something plus homers and this and that. Here's my question to every single Yankee fan that have always tried to debate me, because they'll say this when he struggles. Well, he still hits home runs. I mean, he's still a better power catcher, and his defense been good. Is that who you expected Gary Sanchez to be? No, it's not. I'll answer the question for you. None of us thought that Gary Sanchez would be a .230 hitter and hit 25 to 35 homers, and that's all he would become. Many of us were led to believe that this is the next Manny Ramirez. This is the next superstar, not hitting seventh and trying to hide him in the order at this point. This was going to be a guy that was going to be batting 3, 4, or 5 for us for good. Now, I am not the New York Yankees manager. I personally do not agree with benching Gary Sanchez. I think you need him because his potential outweighs whatever Austin Romine can do, and we can debate that all day. But I predict if Gary Sanchez doesn't turn this around, you're going to see some really harsh critics in the New York media who have held back on Gary Sanchez to a huge amount. They have held back on him. I think you will see some really negative articles, as you started to see with Joel Sherman saying to bench him now. And I think you'll see more of that there. Moving on from Gary Sanchez, I guess, he probably will start. Aaron Boone said, he's not looking at moving him anywhere. I mean, he's already batting low in the order, so I don't see him being moved. But maybe you do start Romine a game and give him a break and then maybe pinch hit him when you need to. But Jack, there you go. New York media is soft. Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe you're right and maybe they don't. Moving on to Didi Gregorius, folks. You guys know how I felt about Didi dating back to last year. I like Didi Gregorius. I love him as a person. I think he's an overall good guy. Didi Gregorius, to me, there should be a 0% chance of his return to the New York Yankees for multiple reasons. One, I think Didi's decent. I don't think Didi is unbelievable. I don't think he is this superstar that people think he is. I don't think he is going to get much better than we expect him to be. And if his rumor of $20 million a year is what he wants, cut it loose right there. See you later. You can take a walk. And the Yankees now have extremely great leverage when it comes to letting Didi Gregorius walk, that I don't think many fans will be upset about. You have a first baseman, whoever you want to bring in, Encarnacion back, whatever you want to do, Luke Voigt. You got second base covered with DJ LeMay, who's arguably the MVP of the league. And you got shortstop covered with Gleyber Torres, who many people will argue may be the best player in his team. So that's all I'm going to say about Gregorius. I'm not interested in bringing him back. I don't care. For a lot of you people that are just now entering, I have a series of a couple of things I want to go over. Then I will get to your questions, okay? So everybody who has donated so far, thank you so much. If I don't get to your question now, I'll get to it shortly. The next thing I have up is Giancarlo Stanton. The Yankees, if the Yankees know by today that Stanton wasn't going to be ready to play, Tauchman needs to be up and prepared to play baseball. You cannot leave a guy like Giancarlo Stanton up. Here's another example, folks. This game was 2-0, right? It was 2-0. I was telling some of my family members I'm with, I got a feeling what could happen here is late in this ball game, you could have second and third potentially. A guy on second base can be maybe an Encarnacion. You need somebody to run for him. But you won't have that. The Yankees need and they must make up their mind right now. Guys, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate every support you guys give me. You're amazing. The Yankees need to make up their mind right now. Right now. That Gary Sanchez, that Giancarlo Stanton, if he can't play, he can't play. You can't wait for this guy. Taubman's another lefty bat versus a team who has no right-hander, no lefties. They got no lefties, folks. None. 0 lefties. They got 0, zilch. No left-handed pitching. Stanton right now is wasting a spot. Hell, people were saying, hey, I saw him jogging and hitting. He was hitting homers. You had Yankee writers going, hey, look, Stanton just hit a bomb to left. Doesn't do shit for me. Doesn't do shit for any of us if he's not playing. So, I mean, they need to make their mind up here. Is Giancarlo Stanton going to be in the lineup? Or is he going to be done for the year? This is not hard. And like my father said, I asked Pops about this, and Pops was right. We didn't have him all year. We don't need him now. You didn't have him all season. You don't need him now. All right? No big deal. Move on. Next, the lineup. This one annoys me because I hate when managers feel like the fan base and the media is just stupid. I hate that more than anything. For an example, Aaron Boone was asked after the game, why is Brett Gardner batting third and not Gleyber Torres? Aaron Boone's response was, I wanted to break up my left-handers. For what? For what? For what? Folks, again, for what? They don't have a left-hander. So again, somebody get me a damn press pass. Please. I need a friggin' press pass. Because me asking questions back? Excuse me, Mr. Boone. Who's the lefty that you're concerned about that they can bring in? Who is the left-handed pitcher that you are concerned about that the Astros could bring in that would worry you about breaking up your left-handed hitters? Can you give me one? Oh, because there is none, sir. So how about you say, you know what? I won't give away my lineup, but I could expect some changes. I tell you what, as much as us fans will blame Gary Sanchez and Adam Ottavino and Didi Gregorius, We can also blame Aaron Boone for doing a shit job of putting a lineup out there that isn't good. Your lineup doesn't need to change. DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Gleyber, Torres should always be your top three against Houston. Single, pop out, walk from Gleyber Torres. Why was he in that moment? Why? What was the reason? So, we can argue about that. I do think you'll see the change. I do not think you'll see Brett Gardner hitting third tomorrow. I think you'll see 1, 2, 3, as I just said. And I think Hicks should move up in the order also, because Hicks is a guy who works counts. So I think Hicks up in the order makes sense. So that's how I feel about the Yankees lineup. Moving on now to game 4 and 5. Many of you have asked me, do I think the rainout hurts or helps the Yankees? I think it helps them. I could see where maybe it could hurt them. It could hurt them in the sense that the Astros were also going to do a bullpen game. So maybe in that sense, you can face off against the Astros bullpen and beat them up, because the Yankees had Green, who could probably go 2, and then you kind of, pinpoint it away from there. But I like the idea of Tanaka starting. So now you got Tanaka and Paxton going 4 and 5 versus Greinke and Verlander. The New York Yankees, in my opinion, I already stated this on Twitter, so I'll state it again, these next 2 games are must-wins. They're must-wins in the sense I don't want to win one of these games and go to Houston and have to win 2. That is a tough task for the Yankees. And they'll be facing Cole again. They're going to face him anyway. But here's the way I see it, folks. You'll have Greinke, who, if Yankee Stadium isn't loud that entire time this man is on the mound, you guys aren't doing your job that's going to be at the stadium. You need to blow this man's ears up. I want a Greinke chant. I'm calling that mess right now. I want to chant, Greinke, Greinke. No joke. Whatever you can do. And people might say, oh, that's the softies. Oh, that's so terrible. That's just horrible. No. It's baseball. Get under this man's skin if you can. There should be Greinke calls all over the stadium. In tune of one another. Back to back to back. Every inning the man's on the mound. The Yankees should wreck this guy. They should wreck him. Okay? So now you go to Verlander. We know what can happen there. They gotta win. You gotta face Verlander, you gotta beat him. You gotta do whatever you can to go ahead and defeat Justin Verlander. Game 6 is Garrett Cole. Game 7, who the hell knows? That's why this very much can have the Yankees win this series if they win the next 2. I've seen a lot of reporters say they think if it goes to 7, the Yankees will have the advantage. The Yankees need to win the next 2 games, and that is my message if I am Aaron Boone. Simple as that. Guys, I'm putting out the best lineup I can. We need to scratch across runs, no doubt about it, and try to win these next 2 games. That's all there is to it. You got 4 games in a row, folks. There's no stopping. There's no stopping. What you might see is the team with momentum run away with the next couple of games. That needs to be the Yankees. That needs to be the Yankees. Simple as that. The rainout, yes, maybe it helps because you get Tanaka back out there. Or maybe you needed a bullpen game because that's the way maybe the Yankees' bats could get awakened. But they're facing Greinke, and he doesn't concern me much. I don't know if he concerns you guys, but I'm not too concerned with Zach Greinke. I think the Yankees can beat him. And I think Yankee Stadium needs to be a horror house. Not a whorehouse. A horror house. Not a whorehouse, all right? It needs to be a horror house. They gotta make it as scary as possible for Zach Greinke out there. They gotta make him shiver. They gotta make him shake. The stadium needs to rumble when that man is on the mound. We gotta do all we can to make him rumble. Moving on. Starting pitching. This, I guess it has something to do with the postseason also. The Washington Nationals have gone to the World Series, right? The Nationals have good starting pitching. Everybody always knew if the Nationals will ever get anywhere, it would be due to their starting pitching. And then you go to Houston. Houston has Cole, Verlander, Greinke. We know the whole thing there. The Yankees don't got starters that can go 5 innings. Something needs to change. Besides Tanaka. Something needs to change, folks. If the Yankees' philosophy is, well, bullpen would do everything because starters are no longer going that long, then something needs to change. Simple as that. The Yankees need a horse. They need a horse. They've had their chances to get the horse. They just never did it. Let's go back a couple of years ago. And I want to clear this out the air because I'm sick of people trying to mess around with this story. And folks, this story and the reporting that I did on Garrett Cole was superior to anybody else. Believe it or not, to the point I have DMs with Yankee writers that will prove everything I say. But of course, I'm not going to put them on the spot to put that out there because their writing might have contradicted that. When the Yankees first initiated the conversation with the Pirates about Garrett Cole,
I fit, don't worry.
why are you interrupting me for?
Because.
What are you doing interrupting?
None of your business.
You don't interrupt the source.
You are no source.
So, going back to when the Pirates were talking about this deal, Andujar's name was the first thing to come up. That obviously didn't happen. Okay? So that deal didn't end up eventually happening. They were told not to. They were told, no, there's going to be no deal for Miguel Andujar. It can only go another route. Now, the Pirates didn't find another real legit option that could be a player like a Miguel Andujar. At the time, was still in AAA. Didn't get to the major leagues yet. You know, he had the last couple of whatever in September. The Yankees then turned and said, you know, the players that Pittsburgh wanted was Chance Adams and Clint Frazier. They wanted both to make a deal. The Yankees responded and said, no, choose one or the other with a lower level prospect or two. The Pirates then said, well, we got an offer from Houston. We'll go that route. Okay? That's what happened. You don't have to believe me. That's fine. But my story has never changed. The Yankee story has changed. So, all of a sudden, when Miguel Andujar got the job at third base and was hitting extremely well, and everybody saying, damn, this guy's really good, and Garrett Cole was dominating with Houston, all of a sudden, the story was among the New York media that, well, the reason the Yankees don't have that guy is because the guy playing third base right now. It's not true. That's not true. That was created by the Yankees to have the media push that story out with the likes of Jack Curry and these other guys. That's what happened, folks. That's 100% fact. I got them in DMs when I confirmed the story with them, and they said, yes, that is the truth of the story. Then they went on to write a different story. How did that happen? I'm bringing this up because the Yankees again have the option to get Garrett Cole. Hell, it'll be the third time. Third time might be the charm. They drafted him out of school, knew they probably wouldn't sign him. They didn't. He went to UCLA. And then they had the great chance in the world to trade for him when a lot of you on here And a lot of other people were arguing with me saying he wouldn't be the 5th starter on the Yankees. Now he's probably the ace on arguably every team in baseball. Can't say I tell you. But the Yankees have a chance to go out there and get him. The Yankees also might have a chance to go after another ace or really legit starting pitcher and great postseason performer, by the way, that they never had a chance to go after yet, and that is the man that is in the World Series right now, Strasburg, as Strasburg likely will opt out of his deal. So the Yankees have 2 aces that potentially could be out there that all it would take is money. And hell, I'll have people argue with me all day. If the Yankees want to be legit, go out there and get both of them. Never will happen. But if they're serious about winning, they need a horse. They need a horse, and they got to get one of those guys. They got to get one of those guys. This team needs a horse. And I know a lot of Yankee fans will say, well, you know, at the end of the day, Severino could become that guy. We got Herman who could come back. We got this one, that one, this one, that one. The Yankees need a horse, folks. And it's about time that a lot of you fans who defend Brian Cashman finally say, hey, man, it's time that we get a starter here. Like, a lot of people would do some serious defending over this guy. And I get it. And I get it. He's done a lot of good moves, but you cannot sit there and say, this man has done a good job on starting pitching. It's been horrible. It's been horrendous. It's been terrible. The Yankees need to go out there and find some starting pitching. Some guys that are real deal horses. They got the offense. That's not going anywhere. They got the offense. They got to lock in DJ LeMahieu for an additional year or 2. Let Didi Gregorius walk. You got Miguel Andujar coming back next year who might be could be a DH. People are talking about him in a corner outfield spot. People are talking about him at first base. We don't have a first baseman, really. If you think about it, there's a chance that he can win a first base job. Yes, Encarnacion has a chance to come back. Yes, Luke Voigt has a chance to rebound a bit. And for a lot of you people saying trade Stanton, hell, look, I'd be all for that move. It's just a big deal to make. So, guys, that's all I had for you right now. I will go ahead and now start answering some of your guys' questions for a little bit, and we will go from there. DJ is our first baseman. I don't mind seeing DJ LeMahieu at first base. If the Yankees tomorrow said, hey, look, he's going to be our starting first baseman, I'm cool with that. I'm not even joking. The guy's 6'4". He's a major target. Do we forget what he did in Game 1? Game 1, he saved the Yankees in a lot of spots. I mean, made some great scoops. Thoughts on the Joker movie? The Joker movie was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's probably worth a second watch because I think you might be able to pick up on some things you didn't pick up on. A terrific movie. Great movie. Alfredo Garcia. Great trade deadline acquisition. Bumgarner could be the next Verlander for the Yankees. I wouldn't mind going after Bumgarner. I wouldn't. I think he would have been a sexy move at the deadline. I think he would have been costing very big for the Yankees right now. Man, having Bumgarner right now would be very nice, but they don't have him. And I heard Michael Kay. Michael Kay said something along the lines of, well, a fan said to him, this is why they needed a starting pitcher at the deadline. And Michael Kay said, well, who would you have wanted? Who could they have gotten? Many other guys. There was a few other guys out there that could have made a difference, whether it was long relief. A starter that could give you long relief after one of these starters go could have helped. Maybe that 7-2 game or 7-1, whatever it was, a starter could have went those last 4 innings and saved your bullpen more. I don't know. If Brian Cashman doesn't get a pitcher, he should be fired. I don't know how to really look at that. Again, none of those are my calls. That's only opinion. I don't know. Oh, Ottavino. No, you don't want to get rid of Ottavino. I just wouldn't pitch him in these leverage situations. He doesn't have it right now. He's not fooling anybody right now. So what you do in this situation is you don't say you keep pitching him like Aaron Boone has said. I understand you don't want to go out there and give some strategy away and say we're not going to use him no more. But when game time comes around, you should not be using this guy. So you should be going more towards a Luis Sessa. No joke. If you want to get a right-handed batter out, go to Sessa. Why not? He looked good. Ottavino doesn't have it. Go to Sessa. I'm not joking when I say that. Go to Luis Sessa. Is he great? No, but he's going to do better than what Ottavino's doing right now. He doesn't got it. If a guy doesn't got it, don't keep throwing him out there. Well, the difference between Sessa and Loaizaga right now is I feel like Sessa could throw more strikes. He has a little better command of his pitches. So if you want to get one guy out, go that route. That's the way I see it. Cash will have over half a dozen quality pitchers to pick from. You're right about that. He's had about half a dozen in the last multiple years that he's passed up on. So if we move on from Gary Sanchez, what answer do we place at catcher? I don't think that's realistic at the moment. I do think at some point the Yankees got to make up their mind on who this guy is. And is he hurting the team? Is he helping the team? Is he truly dedicated? I mean, I saw some guys like David Wells say he needed to block that ball that Britton as a tough call. The one thing that does frustrate me about Sanchez in moments like that as a catcher, you are told to fall on top of a pitch. Now, easier said than done. Much easier said than done. The pitch is about 95 in the dirt. So it's not an easy ball to block by all means. But people are going to keep bringing these things up about Sanchez because he's supposed to be a bat-first guy. And until Gary Sanchez reaches the potential that most people thought he would reach, it's never going to be a great conversation because it's hard to be the caliber player that people and even the Yankees expected him to be. So it's not easy to be that type of guy. But again, he's playing a tough position. Do I think he's more than a 230 hitter? Yes, I think Gary Sanchez could hit 265, 270, 280. I don't know how much that dedication is there. They say he's a guy that gets easily frustrated. That doesn't work too well in the postseason when you don't have patience and you can't have patience. Aaron Boone, you can't have patience. This is not the regular season where you can say, well, we can ride him for a month. You don't have that. You might have 2 more games left. So you can't have patience at all. Yankee fans want to know what are the chances we land Cole in free agency. A couple of years back, I would have said it could be a lock. I know Cole likes the Yankees. We know that. I know the Yankees got to like him. But the Yankees have done a new form of negotiations, which is we offer, you don't accept, we don't change, and you can leave. They did it with Patrick Corbin, which I think is a huge mistake. And they probably will do it with Cole, where they say, hey, here's the deal that we're willing to offer. Take it or leave it, and that's it. So we'll see. Well, should they bench EE in general? No, that's a tough one too, because who are you replacing him with? Encarnacion has been good. You know what I mean? Encarnacion's good. And let me say something else real quick. I see a lot of Yankee fans will bring up this point. Well, in the postseason, Corbin hasn't been that good. Corbin was able, in a very important game against the Dodgers, to come out of the bullpen for 2 innings and shut them down. He was able to make his starts and give a couple of innings. I think altogether in the postseason he's thrown like 18 innings, something like that, or 14. Paxton and Severino did what, 5, 8? in the last couple of things, whatever it is, or Paxton alone, 5, 6, 7. So we're sitting here again trying to convince ourselves that the man that is playing in the World Series, that had a great year, that was still able to come out of a bullpen and shut a great offense down. He wasn't that good anyway, so why are Yankee fans mad? Are you friggin' kidding me? If somebody says you can have Patrick Corbin now, if every Yankee fan doesn't raise their damn hand, they're out of their friggin' mind. That's all I'm saying. Can Maben get a start? That would be interesting over Gardner. I could see maybe Maben getting a start over Gardner. Maybe not against a guy like Greinke. For a guy like Greinke, I want Gardner in there because he's not really overpowering. Now, a guy like Verlander, I don't have Gardner against Verlander. I wouldn't have Gardner against Verlander. I don't think I would go that route, or even Cole. When it's a guy with that much power stuff, maybe I look to make that change. But we'll see. Somebody called the Michael K show and said Tyler Urshela. Tyler Urshela? Wait, I missed this. Tyler Lyon, is a more reliable arm than Britton right now. I think they're out their mind because Britton's been good. Maybe it should start in left field, guarding center, Hicks at DH. I can see that too. Big timer, my friend, that makes sense. That does make sense. That does make sense. What else you guys got before I hop off here? A couple of more questions. Can we just move Hicks up and back Guardy ninth? That's also, I think moving Hicks up makes a lot of sense. I'll be honest, I like Hicks batting fourth. I really do. I like Hicks batting fourth. I like the switch hitter there. I like a guy who can continue to work counts, especially against a guy like Zach Greinke. I like Hicks higher up in the order. Then again, you don't want to throw a bunch of guys struggling altogether, but you might have to. And I think for a lot of these guys to break out, they're going to be facing the right guy tomorrow night in Zach Greinke. Makes a lot of sense. Yo, Pete, same man. He's our fourth best hitter in my right now. That's true. I agree. Got to move Hicks up. I agree with that. Do you think Green should have been left Game 3 longer as well? I think everybody did well in Game 3 besides the Ottavino move. I think everybody pitched good. Love Hicks batting fourth. I agree on that. Do you think the Yankees look for a young shortstop or second baseman if Didi Gregorius wants $20 million? They don't really need to do that. They have the guys on the team right now locked in. Gleyber Torres could play short, and DJ LeMahieu could play second. Bumgarner and Cole could be our new Clemens and Pettit. I would be all in for a move like that. I really would. The more starting pitching to me, the better. J Happ, I think, will be traded. I don't think the Yankees keep J Happ around. I think they try to figure out a way to get rid of him and unload him. I don't think J Happ's a Yankee in 2020. I really don't. Sabathia, we know, will not be. And that's another move too, man. Where's Sabathia? Let Sabathia pitch. People keep getting upset with me when I say that, but you guys know I'm not a fan of CC, but I like him in tight situations, in big games. I really do, because if CC's going to lose, he's a veteran. It's not going to be because of fear. It won't be because of fear. If CC loses, if you go against some of these lefties too, you still got him there. It won't be over fear. It won't be because of fear. Pete, who do you see John Jones fighting next? I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. He did it, then they pulled him. To me, Game 2 is the game that bothers me more than anybody, and I told you guys that. Game 2 bothers me more than anything. Because Sabathia should have stood in that game. When you got Correa leading off, you then go to your hard-throwing righties and deal with Happ down the line. I felt like that was too quick. I felt it was too quick. LeMahieu, Hicks, Judge, Glaber, Tauchman. In fact, I wouldn't be upset with that either. I wouldn't be upset one bit. And you're right. I mean, there's no doubt the Yankees could be up 3-0 in this series. Some of the players have beat themselves. The Yankees should. I mean, and I put the blame on Boone. I put the blame on Gary. I put the blame on Didi. I put it on Ottavino. I tell you who I really put blame on, though. I put blame on Aaron Boone. Folks, when, who was it? When Ottavino walked, what the hell's his name? My God, Springer. When Ottavino walked Springer, I'm screaming at the screen. I am screaming at the screen. Pitch out. Pitch out. It's obvious. He's going to run. Pitch out. They know Ottavino is likely going slider or whatever it is. He went fastball, but he leaves it right over the middle of the plate. They don't pitch out. Hit and run is on. First and third with Altuve up, the best guy to hit and run with. They did this to the Yankees before, and they always do it with Altuve. All the time. But, for whatever the hell reason, a major league manager didn't see that coming. I don't know what to tell you. A major league manager didn't see that coming. I don't know. How do we rebound from 2 tough losses? You go out there tomorrow night and you beat the hell out of Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke is your best chance of winning. If you somehow lose to Greinke, that's it. That's it. You got to be able to beat Zach Greinke. There's no doubt about it. Zach Greinke should get starched tomorrow in Yankee Stadium, where I'm telling you, start the trend on Twitter. Start saying it now for the fans that are going to be there. Start a Greinke chant. I'm not even joking. The stadium all day from the first, second, however long Greinke's in that game should be at the beginning of the inning to the end of that inning doing a Greinke chant as loud as they can. Or a Donald chant. I don't care. Whatever it is. Go out there and do it. Guys, it's been about 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this chat up. Thank you so much for the people who contributed. Thank you so much for all your great questions. Thank you for the 120 plus people that were in this chat. You guys are the best. A lot of new videos are coming soon, folks, with nice backdrop. Me and NY News are going to be doing some pretty fun things. So, guys, again, from me to you, best of luck to the New York Yankees tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be talking with you guys before the game on Twitter. And best of luck to the Yankees tomorrow. It's Tanaka versus Zach Greinke. If you're going to that game tomorrow, be loud. Talk to you guys again soon. You are the best. Thank you so much. Talk to you guys again. Thank you.